Welcome to this month's edition of Elevate Your Energy for March. We're going to be going through the theme of the month, the theme of the last few months, and of course, as always, the recommended practices for your mind, your body, and your spirit. Really simple and effective practices that you can start incorporating into your daily routines and see which ones really make you feel a difference in your energy, aligning with the time right now. Let's get right into it. So the theme for March is preparing for new beginnings. This is the real new year as far as our body and our spirit, our energy clocks are concerned, especially in the Northern Hemisphere. So as I said before, instead of setting those resolutions back in January, this is a much better time to prepare for those new beginnings. Our theme for December and January was to reflect and reset. So hopefully we've spent some time doing that and thinking carefully about who we were in that time and who we are prepared to be in this new year and in this new season. The theme for February was to tap in and charge your intuition so that you do know how to feel the most like yourself this year, in the best new version of yourself, aligning with new goals and maybe with new opportunities that you haven't even really thought of with your rational, logical thinking brain. So the theme of this month is to use that intuitive power, use that rest and reflection that we have done in the past few months and charge it and channel it towards creating and having creative new beginnings, as I said, within yourself, first of all, and as a result of shifting that energy within yourself, those changes will come into your life as well. And this can also be a time, like I said, to create those new resolutions. If you're somebody that is goal-oriented, this is a great time to set new goals or to make commitments to your inner self, that inner energy, or whether you believe in the universal energy, whether you believe in a higher power, whatever it is that connects you most deeply. Ideally, it is the inner power within you, because ultimately that is what we are aiming to elevate, unlock, unleash, and just allow to expand naturally. So you can connect and make some commitments to that force within yourself. And this will be a really good time for that. So the theme for 2025, as we've already talked about, like I said, is to elevate your energy. And your intuition is the key resource, as I keep saying, to find what the path is for you and to tune out the noise on what other people are doing, saying to do, even the practices I'm recommending today. It is your intuition that will guide you towards the ones that are really meant for you, the ones that are meant for you for a short time, and the ones that you will keep for a lifetime. So keep your intuition always in mind and always practicing it by taking a moment to relax, seeing what your natural inclination is, testing it out, and see if that was correct, and continue to fine-tune that ability. So again, no matter what others are saying, we need to find our own path this year. Let's get straight into the recommendations for body, mind, and spirit. For the body, mobility workouts are going to be very important for you to channel that energy, that intuition energy that we just charged. Is so important to ground that. Otherwise, it can lead us astray in all different types of directions without the ability to actually act and receive and ground that into our real lives. So very important to do some mobility work, specifically in the hips. I will share some mobility exercises in the sheet below, but mobility in general, anytime you look up mobility exercises, try out the ones that you feel in areas that you're stiff. The hips are always the number one area to focus on for grounding energy. Along with that goes core workouts. As we're preparing for new beginnings and maybe taking action on some new beginnings, you will need that energy center of your body to be strong, resilient, prepared, and that is where core workouts come in the physical realm to strengthen that energy center in the physical. Okay, so very important to do core workouts. And with that, I'm going to recommend some poses and exercises here. The 5 Tibetan rites, it is a series of 5 different exercises. I'll share a separate video that goes over those 5 exercises. That would be an excellent thing to implement in the mornings if you can. If you can't, if you're going to do shorter yoga sessions, stretching sessions, please incorporate or consider incorporating boat pose. This is an excellent way to engage that core, and maybe going down into the reclined boat, coming back up into boat, doing several repetitions of that as feels good to strengthen that core. As I mentioned last month, for the hips, this trio of poses is one of the best way to release and feel that stretch in the hips. That is lizard, half Hanuman, and pigeon pose. Those three in conjunction, especially if you do them in a row like that, you will feel that energy flowing through your hips and feel that groundedness in your body, especially if you do this regularly. And then the last thing I will say is, if you are someone who runs, this is a great time to go running. Personally, I'm not a big runner. I like my vibration plate, which is really helpful for moving the body and, again, providing that grounding energy by releasing all these toxins and allowing your body to do that lymphatic drainage on its own by shaking it up and releasing all of that throughout the body. So again, those are the recommended poses and exercises. Going into food recommendations, same as last month, I will highly recommend turmeric in a fat source, so either bone broth or milk. Turmeric is one of the best ways to reduce inflammation in the body. As we're hopefully getting into more workouts, this will continue to be very important, especially also for your energy to stay, again, grounded. So turmeric in a fat source, that is the best way for the turmeric to be absorbed into the body. I personally use bone broth, but you can use any variety of milks, plant-based or not. Same also as last month, nuts and berries are very healthy for your mental health, for your brain health, and just coming off of intuitive work. And if you missed that, maybe get into a little bit of intuitive work here and support that through eating a variety of different nuts and berries, because that will really help not only your mind, but also your physical body by providing a good amount of protein and fat. And the food recommendations are almost identical to last month. Saffron tea expands higher consciousness and improves your mood. It has also been shown in studies to be as effective as certain antidepressant medications. Don't quote me on that, look it up yourself, but I have heard several people talk about that. So saffron tea, either way, it is known to promote higher consciousness and expand your ability, especially if you're already doing that in conjunction with your meditations, which we'll talk about in a second here. So saffron tea, and then also fennel and mint tea. As I mentioned, your core, this energy center, will be vital for this month for you to take actions, aligned actions. So it's very good to have a clear digestive system, since that's where that resides. And fennel and mint tea is one of the easiest ways to just keep that clear, keep your body just kind of regulated in your digestive center. Moving into our mind recommendations. And again, this is all written below, but if you're taking notes, that's great too. It helps your mind absorb it a little bit better. Same as last month, reduce screen time. Continue to focus on that really throughout the year, and make it intentional when you will have screen time, but treat it like a fast. That is my biggest recommendation with screen time, is to take a few hours away and treat it like a fast and do zero screen time for those few hours. Or, build up to a day, build up to 2 days, whatever you can do, but start with just a few hours and get your eyes away from the screen so that your energy center, especially in the third eye, can be more inwardly focused and not so impacted by external sources. Going along with that is to read nonfiction sources. Focus on learning activities this month that will help you in preparing for your new beginnings, especially if you have aligned intuitively, and let that guide you to what nonfiction sources to invest your time in. This could significantly help you in your new beginnings to prepare in better ways, to react in better ways when things come up as you're going through these beginnings. So just focus on nonfiction and learning in any capacity that you feel aligned to do. And then for breathwork recommendation, as we always talk about breath and the mind, this month, Ujjayi breath, which is the ocean breath you may have heard of. It is simply to do this with your mouth closed, but first you can practice with your mouth open. And just to demonstrate real quick, you can have your hand up in front of you so you can feel your breath as you breathe out. And as you breathe in, make that same ocean sound. And repeat that with your mouth closed through the nose, but with that same ocean feeling. You can just practice with the hand if you need to. And if you've done this before, you know exactly how to do it with your mouth closed through your nose. So you should be able to hear that ocean sound. This will be a really good way to stabilize your mind. And again, in my opinion, one of the best breath works to prepare for new beginnings, keep your mind sharp and ready to react in positive ways. And finally, for your spirit, here are the 3 recommended meditation techniques that I would use this month of March. You can use one or all 3, just listen to what they do and see which one fits best for you in this time. The first 2 I've shown you before, and the third one is brand new. The first one, as always, is Dhyani Mudra, the gesture of meditative focus. This is one of the best gestures to begin meditating, to return to meditation, or to deepen your meditation so that any other meditation you do will be much more effective. In addition to that, this is one of the best gestures to focus on the energy in your solar plexus region. This is what I was mentioning with having willpower for new beginnings. This is what will help you support that and take aligned action. So if that's something you need, this is the gesture I would begin with, especially in the morning. The second gesture is called Naga Mudra, or the snake gesture. This is an excellent gesture to support any intuitive work that you're doing, to ground that energy into your body, and also to support physical strength. Again, this works on all the lower energy centers and helps to keep your energy very grounded, stable, and supported as you are preparing for fresh beginnings. And finally, the last gesture, which is one of my favorites, and I will be using it consistently myself this month, is called Vajra Pradama Mudra, or the gesture of unshakable trust. This is one of the best gestures, especially for the throat energy center, to speak things more clearly, to be more clear on what it is that is authentic to you, and to just feel this unshakable level of confidence and trust within yourself. So the way to do this gesture is to first enter Anjali Mudra, which is to put your palms together, again, gentle touch, and then to slowly begin interlocking everything with the base of this being closer together and then kind of flowing out. Almost, I like to imagine this like a zipper that you are zipping up, and this is still the unzipped portion that is beginning to become zipped. And then these thumbs will point up, and this will be held in front of your chest or throat. And as always, you will follow the steps to entering a mudra properly to activate any of these 3 gestures. Those are the recommended practices for the month of March. It is important to not take these too lightly. They are specifically designed to be very easy, but have a high effectiveness for your energy. So please try these out for yourself. Please keep sharing in the comments what is actually working for you, and engage with each other. Encourage each other to keep these practices going. It's going to be very important to elevate your energy throughout this year, and consistency is the major key to that. Keep also engaged with the Elevate Your Energy blog posts so that you can see the weekly recommendations and say which ones are working for you there as well. As always, reach out through comments and messages if you need to, and I will see you for April for our next theme, our next channeled energy focus. So be prepared, and be prepared for the beginnings that are happening in this month. I'll see you next time.